Can a single signature purchase redemption, or are the Chicago Cubs simply paying $175 million for the ghost of a star who peaked during the most scandalous era in modern baseball history? This isn't just a free agent acquisition, it's a declaration of intent, a sudden shift in philosophy that has rattled the dormant foundations of a major market club, forcing us to question whether the price tag reflects the MVP runner-up from 2019 or the steady yet diminished player we've seen since 2021. If you want to understand the true impact of this monumental deal, the strategic failure in Boston, and the seismic shift in the NL Central, welcome to 618 Radar, where we track the big moves that redefine the future of the game. Let's be clear, the Chicago Cubs have landed Alex Bregman, 5 years, $175 million, securing their cleanup hitter, their Gold Glove third baseman, and perhaps most importantly, the veteran leadership that finally provides the scaffolding for their impressive yet young core.
The average annual value of $35 million is the highest the franchise has ever committed, signaling that after years of relative thrift following the 2016 curse-breaking euphoria, a period characterized by massive institutional value but conservative spending, President Jed Hoyer finally decided to act like the big market behemoth they are. We have to rewind only a year to see the delicious irony of this victory.
The Cubs had offered Bregman a reasonable, deferred-free $120 million deal, but they were spurned, losing to the appeal of Boston, the club of his idol, Dustin Pedroia. Bregman, the bat boy from Arizona State who preferred the allure of Fenway, chose the Red Sox, signed a deal, only to opt out after one highly productive yet injury-marred season. But this time, the Cubs came with a vengeance, offering a deal that included a full no-trade clause and 0 deferrals, decisively surpassing the offers that floated around. Deals like the $171 million over 6 years projected by The Athletic. They learned their lesson. When you need a solution at a gaping positional weakness, you don't nibble. After watching Justin Turner produce an anemic .602 OPS last year and young players falter, the third base hole became a crater. Bregman's arrival immediately slots him in behind promising slugger Pete Crow Armstrong, solidifying a top-heavy lineup that will likely feature Bush, Bregman, Happ, and Seiya Suzuki. But the real story here isn't the Cubs' success, it's the Boston Red Sox institutional failure. I spoke with a longtime NL scout who said Boston had every advantage, history, desire, and the financial means, yet they were paralyzed by indecision. They are sacrificing competitiveness to manage John Henry's bottom line, and the fans are paying the price. This is the crux of the Red Sox problem, a complete lack of killer instinct since their 2018 World Series victory. They let Mookie Betts walk, they lost Xander Bogaerts, and then they frustrated Rafael Devers so badly during these negotiations that it reportedly soured the club atmosphere, leading to the two sides parting ways right before the Cubs sealed the deal. They desperately needed Bregman, not just for his bat, but for the intangible leadership Trevor Story was supposed to provide but couldn't due to injury and the psychological pressure of a struggling team. Bregman's defensive stability and 2024 Gold Glove win are invaluable, especially in a volatile infield. The Red Sox, who had previously given the impression of making an aggressive offer, once again proved their reputation for being the ghost at the negotiating table, offering just enough to be mentioned, but never enough to close the deal. As one industry insider lamented, how can a team valued as the 4th highest in the sport, after the Yankees, Dodgers, and themselves, have 0 free agent expenditures this offseason? It's astonishing. Now, let's address the counter-argument that plagues this signing. Many critics, and you know who you are quick to point out that the Bregman the Cubs bought isn't the same player who hit 41 home runs and posted a .940 OPS in 2019, finishing second in the MVP race. Since the sign-stealing scandal became public knowledge, a scandal which, according to accounts, Bregman himself helped initiate by asking why the Astros weren't engaging in sign-stealing like other teams, his offensive metrics have undeniably fallen. His OPS dipped into the .700s post-2021, a noticeable gap from his peak. The argument is, the Cubs paid $35 million a year for a power bat that may never truly return. But that perspective is overly simplistic and fails to recognize the evolution of his game. "You are not just buying the barrel, you are buying the eye," states former hitting coach Paul Miller. Look at the data. His walk rate remains elite, and his pitch recognition is still top tier. He's not dependent on raw power anymore. He's a professional presence. Furthermore, while the long-term power numbers dropped, his postseason numbers remain terrifyingly consistent. He's closer to Carlos Correa in October than the streaky Kyle Tucker. His career postseason OPS of .920 since 2022 suggests he retains the clutch gene that separates good players from championship players. The Cubs are securing a player entering his mid-30s who prioritizes getting on base and playing flawless defense, something sorely lacking since Chris Bryant departed. This deal guarantees the Cubs a legitimate anchor for the next 5 years, allowing them the luxury of potentially trading talent like Nick Madrigal or even the perpetually rumored Nico Horner, whose value is peaking, to address pitching needs. The true plot twist here is what the Bregman signing means for Cody Bellinger. For months, the rumors swirled. Bellinger back to Wrigley, a long-term deal to solidify the outfield and first base. Bregman's contract instantly obliterates that possibility. With Dansby Swanson's massive deal and now Bregman's $35 million AAV, the Cubs' immediate payroll flexibility for an expensive long-term deal like Bellinger's has vanished. They chose stability and defensive certainty on the hot corner over the boo-or-bust risk of a Bellinger mega-contract. This strategic pivot marks the end of the will-they-won't-they saga with Bellinger, confirming that Jed Hoyer is focused on securing proven, reliable veterans rather than gambling on massive upside with generational contracts. Meanwhile, the Red Sox are left spinning their wheels, reportedly pivoting their entire focus towards Bo Bichette, a move that looks desperate after their continuous failure to retain or acquire big-name talent. They lost the chance to sign Devers to a long-term extension, then lost the chance to secure a Gold Glove third baseman with proven playoff pedigree who idolized their franchise, settling instead for nebulous future targets. The Cubs, by contrast, secured their man, ending years of ownership hesitation and launching them squarely back into contention. The question is no longer if the Cubs are spending like a big market, but rather when will the results of this definitive acquisition start to show? If you found this deep dive valuable and want more analysis on the tectonic shifts in baseball, please hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and subscribe to 618 Radar. We analyze the deals that change the game. Now, tell me in the comments below, do you think the Cubs should have prioritized Cody Bellinger over Alex Bregman? Or was securing the third base defense and veteran leadership the smarter long-term play?